I did take that opportunity to fail. Now you totally see why I'm on a notebook buying ban the rest of the year. Hi, welcome back to my channel, La Fraise. I'm Noémie, and this week I am here to guide you through this vlog I've made through kind of like different classes and going through school. I found that the structure of the weekly vlog was not working too well for me. I found it too long, a bit too much. I don't know, it didn't have the vibe I wanted, so I'm trying something else. So I just filmed different little clips throughout time. Now, I was originally waiting for the sun to appear to film this clip, but the sun never appeared today. So it's still daytime, but it's so dark that I need to have the lights on. So apologies for the light. I did all I could, but I could not make the sun appear. We're starting this vlog early October on a Saturday morning, and for some reason I thought it was a good idea to film while sick. I now regret that choice, but here you are, sick Noémie on a Saturday morning to start the vlog with. It's Saturday morning, I'm sick. The video with my wife came out just yesterday and the response is so great, and I'm really happy because obviously I love her, so I wanted to kind of like introduce her to you guys, and the response is so great, and yeah, so far I'm really happy with this. For those who followed on Instagram, I had an exam yesterday. I had to draft a skirt in a very short amount of time and I messed up. I didn't have a calculator with me. My sister has the calculator that I had when I was in high school, and she is going to give it back to me. I was kind of like, well, I needed 3 years for my studies and then I can give it back and her kids can have it for when they are in high school. So I was like, it's all gonna work out perfectly and the calculator can come back to me for a short stint. But I hadn't seen my sister for yesterday's exam, and so one of my colleagues gave me this, which, I mean, this is the size of a small computer. I was like, is this the first calculator made after abacus? You know, I mean, it was really nice of her to give it to me, but I was feeling a bit nervous because it's solar powered and we were in a room. And also, depending on where you put this, I mean, I don't really understand how it works, but like depending on when you put this, it calculates different and it wasn't always right. So I didn't feel comfortable taking this, fearing that I would get wrong numbers. And I was like, I'm a smart girl. I liked math when I was in high school. I'm gonna be able to do everything, you know, just with a pen and paper and my bright little head. And basically we had to calculate, so you want to kind of like calculate the width of your darts, and to do that you have the circumference of your hips and then your waist. You subtract the waist from the hips and that gives you how much depth you need to get into those darts. And then the darts, you divide that distance by 8 and you kind of like, I mean, all the darts are different, but like the number you need is the difference divided by 8. Divided by 8, you'd think that would be where I would mess up. No, I can divide by 8, fine, I was totally fine. It's the subtraction. I totally, like, something so silly, like not the part that you would expect I would mess up. So I messed up the subtraction and then I did the division by 8 right, but obviously because my first number was wrong, then it was wrong. And so I was kind of feeling down about it. I had a friend who was also like literally crying on her sheet because she also messed up. And I don't know, I wasn't crying, but I was like, first test, and I did take that opportunity to fail. And I'm not really into failure, but you know, it's fine. We'll have other tests. I don't know how much this counts for anything. Like, this is not a final exam. It's kind of like a small test you have along the way. So I think it's fine. It was just like more mentally, the first hurdle went straight wrong into it. But anyway, for the next test, I will have my calculator. So even if my brain is not screwed on properly, it's going to be fine. But yeah, then the rest of the class was kind of stressful because we had to finish the entire skirt with the belt and everything, and all the notches and everything needed to be on it for her to take back as well. And I was like, it's really interesting because so this skirt we are learning to make industry standard. So really we are making it so that patterns arrive in an atelier and they are making it for you. And obviously it's not how we are going to work, because we are going to, you know, trace our own things and measure our own things. And so I'm like, I find it interesting to learn how it works in the industry, but I don't feel the need to make it myself under time pressure and feeling stressed about it, just because we're not going to be making this. But yeah, it's fine. It's still interesting. It's just yesterday I was a bit like, oh, it was a lot. Between coming back from class and having to leave for my dance class, I had 15 minutes. So it's just the whole day being like, woo, because before class I was doing an interview for my Brussels sewing shop tour, which is going to be so cool. I'm really excited about this video, but you know, doing the interview, going to class, having the test, messing up, having to finish the skirt, going to dance, I was really like, oh my God, like this day is a lot, but it's fine. I was doing homework for history of costume, which I find fascinating. It's really fun. Then my wife was like, why are you studying this if you keep saying that as costume maker, you don't have any rights to creation? So that's something Freud talked about, but in the school, it's really like fashion designer creates designs and the costume maker sews. And we are not allowed to create anything. And so she was like, why do you need to learn about history of costume if you get the design from someone? Are you really going to tell them like, oh, it's not accurate because X, Y, Z? And I was like, I don't know why we're studying this, because your point makes a lot of sense. But I'm really happy to be studying this, so let's ignore the fact that we're probably studying it for no reason. I mean, maybe, you know, one day you become the big master designing the costumes. I don't know. But yeah, I find it a very strange separations of the jobs. Also because as a fashion designer, you're not designing costume. I mean, you know, why can't the costume person design a costume? Well, in any case, so very naughty, but I was like, I just want to go to the fabric store and buy myself some corduroy and make myself those Lara pants that I've been wanting to make since last year, the ones I made and that ended up too small. And my wife got, no, you're not buying fabric when you already have projects to make. But it's because I need to shower. And after I shower, I need to get dressed. And I'm like, I don't have enough cozy pants to wear at home, like stuff that is warm and comfortable. And so my mind automatically went to, well, you need to sew yourself some pants. Ah, dear. Okay, not being unreasonable today, but I almost went to the fabric store to buy some fabric, but just not. I have a sneak peek on what I went to buy this week. Ooh. I had borrowed this, and this actually got kicked out from my Christmas list. Shocker. This was a really good book. I really flicked through the entire thing. You're gonna be like, are you stupid? What's the title? Like, the title is Draping, but it really is how to make everything with draping. And you might know I do not have a dress form. And I thought that I would be able to apply this and kind of like translate it in 2D or maybe drape on you. And like, you can drape on yourself, but that's such a faff. And basically, I think not having a dress form and, you know, at the moment working more in 2Ds, this is not the one for me. I thought that the techniques would be more translatable into 2Ds. It's really not. This is really a draping book. Again, I know that's the title, but I kind of imagined things that were wrong. So it was interesting to look at, but it's really not for me at the minute. Now, if I do get a dress form at some point, because that's still not clear if we need one for, not for school, if I do get one at some point, I think this is going to come back on my list. I really want a really good pattern drafting book. I find that all the pattern drafting book I found at the moment are pretty basic, and maybe that's all there is to it. Make a sloper and then slash and spread. But I mean, if I buy a book just to make a sloper and then slash and spread, then that doesn't really inspire me. Like, I don't need that. I would want a more advanced pattern drafting book. I'm also kind of like waiting and see what we actually learn in class at the moment. It's still the start, so obviously it's totally fine, but you know, it's still the point where we do a lot of not sewing, and I'm really aching to sew. I'm gonna see what we learn in school and take it from that. Maybe after I really realize what we are learning, I'll decide if I want a book or not. Just to say that Draping book, even though it's a really good book, and if you have a dress form and you are into draping, I think it would be amazing for you, because there's so, like, you could do anything with this. Like, it really goes from basic to quite advanced stuff. You can make like Kate Middleton's wedding dress. So yeah, so a great book, but not for me, and it's been kicked out of my Christmas list, so here you are. Something excited that I've just started, so talking with a lovely subscriber, seeing that many of you were scared about making pens, something we talked about in the Halloween video. She had the idea of maybe have some sort of sewing club and to, you know, encourage each other into making structured pens. And what I have done, she kind of like said it, and then my brain went into project mode straight away, as it does, and I have created a little Discord server for us. So if you are interested, it's called the Strawberry Field, and it is going to be in the description below. There are 4 different channels at the moment. There's the sewing room, where you can share what you're currently sewing and etc. Like, all sewing chat can happen in the sewing room. There is the catwalk, where, you know, if you want to show off your makes. I realize that many of you are not on Instagram actually, so it might be a nice place to show off your make and everyone can share on what you've made. The third place is the hard pens channel, and that is to talk not about pens being hard, but about, I mean, the hard pens as opposition to soft pens. So if you are ready to like level ups in your pens making, we can like chat together about it, and just, you know, like moral support, and let's all make pens together. And the last channel is the knitting corner, because I know a couple of you here are knitters too, and I was like, you also deserve a cozy sofa in my little digital house, and, you know, to knit together in that corner. So yeah, again, thank you so much for the idea, Lily. I'm curious to see what this is going to turn into. But so if you want to come and chat sewing with us, if you're not on Instagram and you just want a bit of like community around sewing, you can come and cheer on other people's makes and get motivation for your own. So you are very welcome in my Strawberry Field. And if you are really confused why the Strawberry Field, La Fraise, which is my name online, means the strawberry in French, which is why my Discord is a Strawberry Field. Something else I want to quickly mention actually is a website about recycled costumes, if that interests you, if you want to go and geek out a little bit. It's a website that collects costumes that have been reused from movie to movie to movie, and so you can look by categories of movies. So for example, Regency, and then you go and see a Pride and Prejudice costume that has been reused in Sense and Sensibility, and then other movies, and I don't know, it's quite a fun one. So honestly, I just wanted to put it out there. I will put the link of the website in the description below. If geeking out about costumes and costumes in movies specifically is something you like, you're going to love this website. It's quite a fun one. There's nothing to do on it. It's just like exploring and having fun, but it's a cool one. Hello, I'm back from dance. I'm back from school. I mean, school first and now dance. I have Carly B talking about her wedding dress making. Oh my God. She's talking about making her wedding dress, and oh my God. You guys need a mug to stand against, and I have... Oh, see that? The perfect mug to lean you guys against. I'm so happy. My merch came out today. I sold absolutely no mugs, but I don't care. I love it. And my mom and dad are going to have one. I bought some for them. So yeah, I'm going to lean you against my own merch. Seeing from Carly B, who's going to make her wedding dress, and I'm so jealous. This is my biggest wedding regret, is that I got married literally just before I started sewing, and my dress was such a simple dress. I could definitely have, I mean, now I could definitely sew this. I'm really like, why did we get married so early? I mean, it was good because we got married just before COVID in the end, so was very, very lucky. But yeah, I'm like, oh, it's so cool. She's making a dress. I can't wait to watch the series. And very jealous because I would have loved to make my wedding dress and my wife's wedding dress probably if she had let me. I wanted to quickly share a little note. By the way, I'm wearing my Stay Up Till Dawn sweater, and I have made a whole video series about making it. It was in the spring, so it's finally cold enough to wear it. It's literally the first time I'm wearing it, but it's a little bit scratchy. Oh, I'm really upset about it because it's quite scratchy here and a little bit on the cuffs. Like, it doesn't touch so much skin, but the small amount of skin that's being touched, it's a bit scratchy. So hopefully we're going to be able to get along. But yeah, just wanted to say it's the first time I'm wearing this. And what I quickly wanted to share is that I have decided to remove all of the clips that are about my sewing classes, because start of 2025 I'm going to make one big video about all the steps we had in learning to sew in sewing school. So basically, I'm going to summarize my course of Introduction to Sewing. I don't think I will show you how to make the things, like you would have to kind of look into things yourself, but kind of like this is what we did first, etc. And kind of the program of what we did, so that if you are interested to learn skills a little bit more formally and in a specific order, that could give you a starting point. So that's what I have in mind, and that's why I'm going to not talk too much about the sewing part in the video today. Hey, I quickly wanted to show you, I bought a few things for school. I showed you, so I kind of like showed all of my school materials in my everything I bought for school haul, and I was like, oh, I'm using my pencil case, and I have literally since I'm 12. And actually, I was like, it's really weird. All of my pencils are like getting this weird like grime on it. And actually, I discovered after using it for a few weeks that literally it was kind of like, I don't know if the lining disintegrated and became a weird texture inside, or if it's mold. I preferred not to know, but let's say that I got rid of it. I was kind of showing my wife, I was like, do you think I tried cleaning it? And she was like, look, just get rid of it. So I got rid of my pencil case that lasted for so long, but yeah, I didn't use it basically since I'm out of uni, so I think just having everything sitting in it for years and years was not great for it. I cleaned all of my pencils and everything, and I bought this pencil case. So everything I'm going to show you is from the store Hema, which we have in Belgium, and I really like. They have quite cheap stationery, cheap but still good quality stationery. So this one is a bit like nature themed and has gold zippers and has 2 zippers, and I thought that'd be great because this way I can put my small sewing things that I need. Like sometimes, for example, in cutting class, I do not need all of my sewing box, but I do need a meter and that type of like small things. So I thought I would have the sewing things in one pocket and the school writing things in the other pocket. A present from my wife, who knows me very well and knows that I love a notebook, and basically I am writing in bullet journals for school. I think that works quite well when you need to do drawings and stuff. So she bought me another one of Hema's bullet journals. So this one I didn't buy, so I'm innocent on this. I then had an order and I got those 3 notebooks. Okay, you're going to totally see, wow, I can see why you are normally on a notebook ban. You are allowed to buy a couple and then you just buy the whole store. But to be honest, I really do use them at the moment. And I realized that the way I've been using my bullet journal was not optimal, because I kind of just put everything after one another. But then when I want to go back to just textile class, I kind of like need to go back like in the middle at the start. Like I was thinking maybe 1 notebook per subject would work better, so then keep going with my bullet journal but for just 1 subject at a time, and then when that subject is properly finished, then move on and keep using that notebook for something else, because at the moment all of my classes are mixed up in my bullet journal and that's not working too well. So those 3 are lined notebooks, and I thought they would be useful because now I'm going to start my business, economics and insurance classes, and so I thought that a normal lined notebook would be useful. And I also thought that maybe one of those could be my next sewing and YouTube notebook, because that one is also getting full. So 3 small notebooks. Okay, now I have the 2 guilty buys, because everything I'm showing you here I had ordered online and got delivered to the store. But then while I was at the store, I saw this. So beautiful. I saw this. I did not strictly need it, but I know I will use it. My wife actually saw this when she went to buy this for me. She saw this and she was like, wow, that's really Noémie's style. So I'm glad she saw it. She saw it was my jam, and I saw it and I also thought it was my jam. So it's exactly the same size as the very first notebook I bought just after I enrolled, and that notebook is already being used. So this way I have another one. So this one is the one that doesn't have strictly a job yet, but honestly at the moment I'm eating up through notebooks, which is great because I spent all of my adult life since I left uni. The desire to buy notebooks was great, but the use I had for them was low. When now I'm like, the desire is equally great, but the use is great as well. So here's a notebook that I potentially didn't need but will use. Then I bought stickers, so we can totally say that at this point I kind of like just went off, but they, you know, flower stickers, I just thought, I mean, at that point I think I wasn't thinking, to be honest, I was having a bit of an intense day, and those stickers, some of them say relaxed mode on, and when I saw that I was like, I just want them. I don't have any good excuse for buying stickers. I wanted them and I got them. And then I needed a drawing notebook. So I had my first drawing class and I needed an A4 notebook that has drawing paper. And what I like in this one is that it folds fully. So, you know, it's a spiral notebook, so you can really fold it fully like this and just have your page to draw. For drawing, I really don't like one that's opens like a book, and that if I put it down here it's gonna stay open, if you see what I mean. When a notebook, they could like flick shut and it's less comfortable to draw. It's the gram of the paper is 180, which I think is thick enough to feel like you're doing actual work on actual drawing paper, but it's not like too thick either because I don't need like so thick paper. So now I'm going to preface, they were on special, and well, that's basically it. They were on special. And honestly, I think my needs for sewing notebooks, for drawing notebooks, are going to be great as well. So I've just started the class, so I can't confirm that I didn't do a stupid purchase, but I will have this drawing class for 3 years, and I bought 3 notebooks. So at the very, very worst, I just use one a year, but I believe that I will use more than one just this year. So this is the first one. They're all exactly the same size, gram of paper and everything. This is the second one, which I thought was really cute. It's obviously a very Noémie color, as you can see, and yeah, I was really into it. Cute little birdies. Yeah, that's the second one. I have not much to say. And then that's the third one, which is my favorite. It's really cute. It says back to nature. So 3 drawing notebooks that might have been slightly excessive, but I don't believe so much that it's a problem. I think they will get used, except if I drop out of studying sewing, and then I will not need them. But so yeah, so definitely bought a little bit more than I strictly needed at this moment in time, but I believe everything will get used, and I found that it was really good retail therapy to buy all of this. So yeah, now you totally see why I'm on a notebook buying ban the rest of the year and in my normal life, because you give me an opportunity and I take it. I bought the notebooks. I wanted to leave you with a little review of this book, which I read, you know, like it wasn't for school, but kind of like as complimentary information for school. And I absolutely loved it. It was very well done, very digestible. Obviously, you don't dive super deep into every single period because it's a whole book about the history of basically, you know, since the start of getting dressed, but I think it was really, really well done. It focuses mainly on French and English fashion. I always kind of feel like, you know, history of fashion, but it doesn't say seen, you know, English and French, and you know, it's like there's the entire world. So maybe just a small note that this is not the entire world. I did like the newest chapter a little bit less. So this was first published in 1969, and then obviously they made new chapters to talk about those periods and all the way to the 2000s in the new edition here. And I did like the new chapters a little bit less, but I thought it made a lot of sense. It ends at the turn of the century, and basically they say that it's the end of linear fashion, which, you know, I was wondering like how are they going to address this, that now there's like so many fashions and so many trends and everything that you can't say, oh, people wore high-waisted or low-waisted. There's so much happening. So I just wanted to say, if you are interested in the history of fashion, this is a really good one, and I really enjoyed this book. It's very heavy, it's not very chunky, but the pages are very heavy, but I really recommend it. I have more stationery exciting things to show you. One of my friends from school offered me 10 folders. Basically, I helped her get a work internship for Legally Blonde. Honestly, like it wasn't so nice of me. I mean, I didn't want to be sewing too much for Legally Blonde because it's already very busy at this moment. So I didn't want to do the work. I was like, you could do the work, and I just facilitated the conversation between her and the people of Legally Blonde. But so she was very grateful I helped her get the work internship, even though she didn't need to. Honestly, at some point they were like, oh yeah, for your prisoners costumes, if you can sew, you should sew your own number on your costume. And I was like, Chloe, I can't sew, can you do it for me? And so she literally sewed my number for me. So I already thought that was thanking off, and I felt like I got my costume sewed for me and I didn't have to do it by hand. And so I was very pleased with the whole arrangement, but she still felt like she wanted to say thanks, and I had been gushing over her folders in class, and to be honest, I had only one folder and it was getting a bit annoying because I was changing everything that was in the folder every time I was going to school, when now I have lots of folders, so I can just grab the one related to the class I'm going to and not change everything to go to school every time, if that makes sense. So she got me 10, but there was 2 of every style, so I will show you just like one, and you can imagine I have 2, but the other 5 I already in used. So I have a flowery one. They're quite thin, but you know, they're fine. Like they're thin and they have envelope style with a little button here. Flowery one. I have this nice, okay, this is a very light pink, and it has this geometrical pattern on it, dark flowers, very pretty. It's also very nice to have them like all different, and makes it easy to know what class is what. And also for my freelancing, I need to keep all of my receipts. Like in Belgium, we have to keep everything in paper. So I have been, and I will be using a few of those for the freelancing paperwork. Leaves, a bit more tropical vibes here. And this is my favorite, and you will know why straight away. This looks exactly like my backpack, the mug I've made, my main bullet journal that I've been using for school so far. This is exactly my vibe, as you know. Also my headphones, like this is as Noémie as you get. So this is the one she had in school, and I was like, it's so pretty, and so she got me one. So yeah, another girl from school was looking at us, and because I was kind of like gushing over her thing, and the girl was like, wow, plastic folders, you guys are really excited about weird things. And you know, she's a young 20-something, so I was like, you'll understand when you're 30. Yeah, just love stationery. And yeah, I felt like, my god, I found a friend after my own heart when she understands that it is exactly the type of presents that I love. And for this video, I would like to thank Suzanne for tipping me a coffee. Thank you so much, Suzanne. I don't know if you're already back from your travels, but if you are, I hope that you were reunited with your sewing machine and that you started some fun projects. I want to thank you all for following me this week again. If you like this video, don't hesitate to give me a big like and subscribe if you're not subscribed yet. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye!